felt that. And we're stuck at this light here. So there's nobody driving anywhere. There's just about 50 cars stuck right here, while we're all being irradiated by the cell tower. Reset it. My stomach is rumbling. My vision is blurring. And that's V2K message that I just intercepted. And that's brain state deterioration. Being shot as a beam right at my head. And another red light. So again, I'm forced to sit here while they illegally beam this weapon of war at my head. This is NASA. This is the intelligence community, meaning the FBI, the CIA. This is the military. This is an act of fraud, an act of treason, a war crime. This is harassment. This is cyber harassment. This is hacking. This is jamming. This is stalking. This is cyber stalking. This is a war crime. This is treason. This is torture. It's in violation of treaties that the United States has signed. They got caught already doing MK Ultra, and now they're doing a variation of MK Ultra using radio frequency and sound to interfere with the human brain. And this entire time, we're just stuck here with no traffic in any direction, while we've got a huge line of cars behind us. They're just pulsing me in the head, letting everybody be late this morning. Okay, look at that giant line of cars that we've got coming. Look at this line. So we were all just forced to wait. That giant line of cars was forced to wait this morning while I'm being pulsed in the head. And then I've got this dumbass that just rips in front of me going about 80 miles an hour in like a $3,000 Volkswagen. I'm sorry, I hate Volkswagens because they're emissions fraud. And then the United States doesn't even give a fuck. A company like Volkswagen gets caught lying on if their car emits horrible things or not from the exhaust. And yeah, Volkswagen for like probably more than 5 years released vehicles in some of their most famous time as a car manufacturer. When their Jettas came out and were affordable for people, they were lying on their emissions tests and saying that they had created like super clean, modern advancements in economically advanced like means to get around without it like polluting as much. So like we're all forced to go get a smog test for vehicles that are obviously going to be fine still. You know, the smog thing is for old vehicles primarily, so that's just an additional charge that we're forced to pay when we register. And a company like Volkswagen literally cheated their entire ass thing. And then what happened on the smog test for that? Was that detected in the smog test when a million fucking Volkswagens were all not complicit in what they're supposed to be doing? No, the smog test didn't see it at all. So what's the point of the smog test then? Because we're all making sure that we're keeping this environment safe. So we need to go do an additional check on our modern machine, a modern exhaust. Has there ever been a single time where a modern car doesn't pass a smog check for some reason? Well, I'm just curious. Like, how many times has that happened? Has it happened 0.0000001 times or less? Because it's right in that ballpark of how frequently a modern car fails a smog check, when there has been an entire manufacturer called Volkswagen, I'm not sure if you've heard of them or not, that released for more than 5 years cars that they deliberately released trying to cheat the emissions tests for pollution for vehicles' exhaust. And then they lied to the world saying, guys, look at how clean our vehicles are. This is the way to go. If you care about a clean vehicle, then this is the way to do it. And ironically, they were actually the most guilty of causing toxic pollution. So that's like our United States government saying, guys, we have to be good to the environment. So what we need to do is take lithium-ion batteries and put it in our cars. We need about 6 giant lithium-ion batteries to put in a Tesla. Let's do that. At the same time, we irradiate the fuck out of our animals and our humans. And then let's ironically have a rule that says you're not allowed to shoot anything at migratory birds, but you're allowed to apparently irradiate humans to death every single day of their life. God forbid you're a farmer and you wanted to protect your crop and then had some sort of sonic laser. No, that's illegal. They could fine you $250,000. But when the intelligence community and military's pathetic punk asses beam audio laser and radio frequency laser, as well as just laser at people 24 hours a day, they don't get a fine. No, these pretentious little tools get a simulated dopamine release from doing exactly what the deep state wants them to do. These people are absolutely pathetic bitches, and they're hitting me in the eyes, in the brain, while I'm driving on the freeway this morning. Again. So you hear that, right? That was felt in my brain. That's V2K I'm intercepting. I'm not hearing it. And I'm getting a serious relief in my stomach distress that I was having. So they're shooting right through my frontal lobe of my brain and interfering with my vision, my stomach health, how happy I feel, everything. Every part of my day is being messed with this radio frequency manipulation. This is a malicious influence in my life that the government is covering up for the government for, when there's billions of dollars on the table. People are being tortured every minute of the day with this. This directly is related to the biggest episode of violence in United States history. The biggest episode of domestic terror in United States history. Russell Brand just posted a video showing one of the 3 whistleblowers from May of 2023. You know what he's focusing on? Is that the FBI engineered January 6th attack on the Capitol. The FBI engineered that whole thing. But you know what the most important takeaway of that is what they all said about the domestic terrorism watch list. Is that the FBI is deliberately inflating the number of domestic terrorism instances and people that need to be watched for that exact reason in the United States, so that they can get a new headquarters, so that they can watch list more and more American citizens and create more chaos in communities by using psyops on them. So I promise, I swear to God on my life, I could not make that stuff up. You know, there's just not creativity like that anymore in the United States. So what's happening is that's real. That's the truth. Now, there's 3 whistleblowers that gave their entire life, go in front of court. You know, the United States court, they'll love to do anything they can to get rid of those 3 whistleblowers. If they were lying under oath, then that's a crime that they would have tried them for. But since they're telling the truth, they can't try them for that. Okay? And this building right here has panel antennas on it. and you hear that pulsing, that additional pulse rate, and that's MK Ultra, that's radio frequency communication, that's Frey effect being shot at my head. Now, I'm going to record for about 1 more minute and show this next cell tower on my right-hand side that always hits me really hard when I drive by it. So this is the Spaghetti Bowl in Las Vegas, if you guys are ever in Las Vegas. And this is basically all the freeways combining into one spaghetti bowl of roads is what it looks like. So on my right-hand side here, as I'm driving to the heart of the city, there is a gigantic cell tower here next to these old furniture stores and this Las Vegas Police Department. So there's the tower right there. And I'm sure you guys have seen me record this a few different times on my lives in the morning when I'm driving. And it's already got me, so it's completely locked onto me. And now it's just irradiating the absolute death out of me. You hear that? So that's a brain state attack. You hear how high-pitched that tone and that hum is. And that's being shot right at my head here, first thing in the morning. So anybody coming into Las Vegas, just remember that they like to attack your brain state when you come to visit. Maybe that'll make you spend more at the casino, you know, or get arrested by these guys, because it's all about the numbers. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. You know, there's individuals that regularly get accused and then punished for operating within a quota policy, but I've never once seen that entire organization get accused of giving out quotas or saying, hey, this is a good way to get promoted when your numbers are good. Well, fuck, dude, isn't that the same thing in different language? Now, what about the FBI? You know, they've got the same type of philosophy in there, and I can promise you that they do, where, hey, you're supposed to report corruption, but then they don't act to investigate your report. The FCC does the same thing, where if you actually ask them, they'll say that they don't need to do anything when an individual reports. And that's not true. That's actually fraud. That's actively fraud. That's false claims, honestly. When you have a jurisdiction for an entire country given to an agency, and they said, oh, well, if just an individual person makes a report, that's not that important. It's not an individual. You people are hiding the reports of thousands, trying to separate this into numerous different victim groups. If somebody calls you and says, hey, I'm being harassed with microwave auditory effect, and another person says, hey, I'm being harassed by somebody talking to me, it seems like it's some sort of radio frequency. Do you put those in two separate reports or the same family of reports? So if I'm correct, and I know I'm correct, that there are numerous subcategories, even mental health being one of them, as a deliberate plan to hide victims of this modern United States government torture. Okay? So that's what's happening, and I can guarantee it, and I put money on it. So every day I'm harassed and tortured by this software, by this program, and by the losers that train this AI system to do this, the people that are complicit in this, because they would rather continue to be on salary than speak out against something that scares them. That's what it is. You either got a problem with this and you're too scared to do something about it, or you're complicit in it, just like our shit leadership.